Die Biobanken sind für die Weiterentwicklung der personalisierten Medizin.
Biobanks are essential to advanced personalized medicine. Today, we are able to better understand what happens in diseased tissue, for instance, a tumor, at the molecular level. This is why therapies are aimed to attack the molecular signaling pathways. Biomaterial is essential to locate these types of molecular signaling pathways. It serves as a virtual treasure trove for these types of key molecules.
Es dient quasi als Schatzgrube für das Finden von solchen Schlüsselmolekülen.
The RWTH Aachen Centralized Biomaterial Bank, RWTH-CBMB, stores various biomaterials for research projects, along with personal data of patients who donated the materials. Data protection is vital and secured in multiple ways, as Professor Dahl explains.
Wir gewährleisten in der RWTH CBMB den Datenschutz.
At the RWTH-CBMB, we guarantee data protection by storing different data types in different databases. The sample is also assigned a pseudonym when it arrives at the biobank. This is not a pseudonym, as we know from authors, as a different fictitious name, but rather an electronically generated non-speaking string of letters. All data refers to this pseudonym.
Die nicht sprechend ist. Und alle weiteren Daten beziehen sich auf dieses Pseudonym.
Clinical and patient data can consequently only be linked by an outside data trustee. Patients are also able to revoke their consent for data and biomaterial storage at any time. Aside from personal data, clinical data is also stored along with the tissue.
Es ist sicherlich verständlich, dass eine Biomaterialprobe.
It's certainly understandable that a biomaterial sample is more valuable when more clinical data is associated with the sample. This can be clinical data such as tumor tissue size, what the tumor's level of differentiation was, whether the tumor had already metastasized, and whether axillary lymph nodes for breast cancer have already been affected, for example. All this is important clinical information that, along with the biomaterial sample, makes it valuable for research projects.
Diese wertvoll macht für die Forschungsprojekte. Prinzipiell können wir in der Aachener Biobank der RWTH.
Here at the Aachen Biobank, the RWTH-CBMB, we are essentially able to store all types of human biomaterials. It needs to make scientific sense, of course. We currently store many tissue samples as well as blood samples, but also urine samples or liquor samples. Especially the blood samples can be prepared in different ways into plasma, serum, white blood cell fractions, depending on how the hospitals need them for their research projects.
Kliniker es auch für ihre Forschungsprojekte benötigen.
Even though these days sophisticated technology shapes biomedical research, the core of a biobank features two main characteristics. It is massive and reliable, as Jennifer Wipperfurt explains. The most important technical element of any biomaterial bank is definitely the freezer. It reaches a temperature of -80 degrees Celsius and enables long-term storage and preservation of biomaterials such as cell and tissue samples. Aside from external monitoring, the cooling units are equipped with CO2 connections to ensure secure sample storage during emergencies. To reduce ischemia time as much as possible and prevent the autolysis process of patient material, the samples are flash frozen in liquid nitrogen. Long-term storage occurs at -80 degrees Celsius in the freezer or in liquid nitrogen at -196 degrees Celsius. The advantage of cryogenic storage in liquid nitrogen is that the vital functions of cells are being maintained. After the patient material has been received, an order entry is created for diagnostic purposes. The prerequisite for storing tissue at the biomaterial bank is the encryption of personal data as well as the patient providing consent. With the help of a professional storage system, tissue localization is specified and subsequently archived.
Wird die Probenlokalisation festgelegt und im Anschluss archiviert.
Biomaterial storage and management is subject to high standards. Zara Förster explains how pathologists also ensure the high quality of the actual biomaterial itself.
Gewebe ist nicht gleich Gewebe und
no two tissues are alike, and often you only find out under the microscope whether the samples are actually suitable for research purposes or not. This is our responsibility as pathologists, since we are dealing with the assessment of tissue samples every day. We look at how much tumor tissue and how much normal tissue is actually contained in the overall tissue sample, for instance. What does the tumor look like? Is it actually suited for the biomolecular studies that are often being conducted? We then determine, based on these factors, whether we are really able to provide the researcher with a high-quality sample that meets the quality standards, and whether these samples are actually suited for the scientific objectives of the scientist.
Fragestellung des Wissenschaftlers geeignet sind.
Biobanks are large-scale interdisciplinary projects where various professionals work closely together. Professor Ruth Knöschel-Clark explains the importance of centralized and standardized biobanking. The purpose of university medical centers is to conduct research. Today, we don't just need any type of material to do research, we need high-quality stored materials. This is being realized in a biobank. In addition, the consistency of working with a biobank is the foundation for collaboration with other biobanks in Germany and to also have material available for rare diseases.